Hello everyone, and welcome back. Today I'll be continuing to read Black Panther, the Young Prince. So let's continue. Chapter 14. T'Challa watched in fascination as his breath steamed in the air. It was cold out, but he and his friends wanted to get away from the noise in the cafeteria, so they sat outside on the bleachers that surrounded the football field. Zeke was reading one of his graphic novels, turning the pages silently, only pausing now and then to take a loud slurp through a straw, while Sheila sat nearby, fiddling with a small square cube of different colors. "What's that?" T'Challa asked her. "Some ancient toy," Zeke said without looking up. Sheila's hands moved quickly, almost in a blur. "Just because you can't figure out doesn't mean it's dumb," she replied. T'Challa heard a resounding click. Sheila held up the small box. "It's called a Rubik's Cube." "Can I see it?" T'Challa asked. Sheila handed it to him. T'Challa began to turn the sides of the square, clockwise and back. "You have to get all the sides to match the same color," Sheila explained. T'Challa cocked his head and went back at it. "I could tell you the solution," Sheila taunted, "but that would take all the fun out of it." T'Challa continued to turn and click the cube. "Ah," he said. "I see." Loud shouting interrupted his concentration. He turned toward the outdoor basketball court. As cold as it was, a basketball game was being played, and Gemini Jones was dribbling the ball, playing aggressively and bumping into players. T'Challa watched M'Baku elbow his way through a player and slam the ball into the net. "Nice," Deshaun said. Zeke looked up from his book. "Looks like Marcus found some new friends," he said quietly. T'Challa was silent for a moment. "Yeah," he finally said. "Looks that way." "I'm not into basketball," Zeke said. "I mean, I don't get sports, especially football. Why would people want to crash into each other like that?" But T'Challa didn't really hear him. He was looking at M'Baku, who seemed to be having the time of his life. Later that day, on the bus ride home, T'Challa nudged M'Baku. "So you're really into basketball, huh?" M'Baku turned in his seat. "Yeah, Coach said I'd make a good point guard." T'Challa nodded, even though he didn't know what a point guard was. "So you like hanging out with Gemini and his friends? They're okay once you get to know them. They get respect, you know?" "Respect?" "Yeah. I don't want people to just think I'm some exchange student from Africa. And since I can't tell anyone where I'm really from, I'm going to make sure I get the respect I deserve." T'Challa angled his head. This was just like M'Baku, always concerned with what others thought of him. "So, what are you going to do?" M'Baku shrugged. "I don't know. You can hang out with those nerds if you want to, but once I get on the team, I'm going to change things up a little." T'Challa narrowed his eyes. "What do you mean? What's wrong with Zeke and Sheila?" "Gemini says they're losers. He said you need to hang out with the right people at Southside Middle School." T'Challa couldn't believe what he was hearing. The bus came to a stop and more passengers boarded. "So you're going to let other people tell you what to do?" M'Baku didn't answer. "Well," T'Challa finally said, breaking the silence, "Zeke and Sheila are okay in my book. It's not fair to call them nerds." M'Baku gave a little smirk. "Whoever said life was fair, T'Challa?" T'Challa opened his mouth in surprise, but then closed it again. The bus hit a pothole and he bounced in his seat. "See," M'Baku started, "you don't have to worry about stuff like that. You can get whatever you want, whenever you want. You're a prince, T'Challa. You were born with a silver spoon in your mouth. The rest of us have to earn it." M'Baku turned away and looked out of the window. They didn't speak for the rest of the way back.